Okay, so hey everyone, welcome back to MS Inspire, and today is the day three of Industry Inspire series. So I'll just give the session to Salman, so he'll do the introduction. Hey Salman.
Hey everyone, nice to meet you all. Welcome to the stream. I'm here with Martina and Cinda and Omkar, and we're gonna have an amazing session today. So I really hope you all enjoy. I think it's really amazing to have Martina on board here to give such a great talk, and she has a lot of experience and she's gonna give you such a great talk. So I'm really looking forward to it, and how you take this advice and how you learn from her is, I think, a lot of it she may say as well. It comes down to you putting into actions. But yeah, I'm gonna also pass on to Omkar, who would like to also talk about the Industry Inspire series.
Yeah, so thank you, Salman, for passing it over to me. So right now, today we have Martina ma'am here with us, and she's associated with Microsoft Germany, and she's also a partner technology strategist. She's been into this thing from 3 years. It's 3+ years for her, and it's really pleasure to have her over to host our day three today. And she has a lot of content to talk about, and it's interesting to have her with us today. We'll learn something new again. And for those who are watching us, like, I'll now pass it over to Martina ma'am and let her introduce herself in a better way. Hello, Martina ma'am.
Hi, thank you so much for the introduction. And yeah, I will continue introducing myself, and I'm looking forward to all your questions and kind of interacting with you through this live stream. And I will start with how my journey actually started. So during school time, I really felt that learning stuff at school is great, but actually working is way more fun for me personal. So when it came to think about how I want to study and what I want to study, I really felt that just studying might be not the right thing for myself. So I knew very early on that I would like to do a dual study program, which is something common in Germany. I know it's not that common worldwide, but let me explain to you how that works. So you basically sign up with a company. In my case, it was HP, Hewlett Packard, and you study, in my case, for 3 months, and then you work for 3 months, and then you study again for 3 months, and then you work again for 3 months. And that was the case for the whole bachelor's studies. I decided that I want to study something with business economics, but I felt that informatics would be a very good addition to it, because I liked IT in school, and I think it's the future. So I decided to study the combination of business and informatics, and that was my 3 years time. And I learned a lot during the theory phases, so the 3 months at university. But I again felt that working in different departments along my employer was great. So I got to see for 3 months, for example, the financial department and understand how are they doing the numbers. I got to see how marketing works. I was able to be a consultant for SAP for a few months and learn how you work in a consultancy relationship with the customer. I also got to get on site to a customer abroad in Chicago, actually. So I also felt how it is to work on site with the customer. And over the whole 3 years bachelor studies, that really gave me the opportunity to get lots of experience in different fields. But after those 3 years, I felt like, you know nothing, Martina. Like, you're not specialized in anything. How are you going to survive when you're taking like a real job and everybody's expecting you to be super professional? So then I really felt like, okay, what's next? And I decided that I personally would like to do a master's study. And I decided to go for business processes and management. It was again a dual study program, so I partially worked and I partially went to university, because I I liked the benefits like getting a salary already so that I could live on my own. And I also really like that if you're done with university, like you don't want to learn anymore, you can just go and work. And if you're done with working, you can go back to university. So that concept really worked for me. And I had a great time during my master's studies because I really felt like I'm learning a lot, and I got my passion for learning kind of. But I still thought like when university is over, this time when you Google everything will actually be over as well. It turns out that Googling or Binging or using any search engine of your choice will never end. So I really feel like everybody's using search engines and other tools to help them to get the newest knowledge that they need for their job. So that was one of the biggest surprises for me when I started my career. After my time dual study programs at HP, I decided to join Microsoft. That was 3.5 years ago. So back then, I basically already worked for quite some time in different internships. But coming to Microsoft was a great experience. Like the culture is great, and I was welcomed very nicely by my whole team. So this is how I became a Microsoftie. And I actually didn't start as a partner technology strategist, but as a technology solutions professional. And at Microsoft, we like to rename things and change things. So after like a few months in my role, there was a reorganization. And since then, I'm a partner technology strategist. So let's say 3 years and 3 months and not 3 years and 6 months. And today I would like to show you that becoming a partner technology strategist, there is not just like one way, but there are a million ways, it feels like. I have a team. We are about, I think, 12 people in our team, and everybody has a totally different background. And I think I want to show you today how you can, like how every role can suit to you, but because you need to make it to be your suit. And let me start with using PowerPoint Live. So what I will do now, I will share my screen, and then you should be able to log into the PowerPoint Live session. So I'm sharing it here, and it's to anyone, and I'm presenting live. So you should be seeing a QR code coming up right now, and you can also see the link up here. You could also put that into your browser. So I will do the same now. I will just check that it is working. And okay, perfect. So I can see that I joined the live stream. 2 have joined. Okay, I think we're getting there.
Yeah. I asked you to tell the audience a bit about PowerPoint Live.
Okay. Yeah, sure, for sure. PowerPoint Live is a new feature which allows you to actually, interact live with the audience. So you will be able, when you join it, for example, on the phone, you will be able to see a smiley up in the bottom column, and there you can click on it and, for example, send a thumbs up or a smiley, so that I actually know how you feel right now. Like if I'm asking a question, you could just react with the smileys to make it a bit more interactive. And especially like if I turn the microphone back on, you will be able to see the transcription live from what I'm actually saying currently. I will turn that off because I understood that there is a slight delay. Yeah, now the thumbs up are coming out. Great. There is a slight delay between the live stream and what I'm actually saying, so to not confuse you, I will turn it off. But in general, you could also use your language to see the transcription, right? So if you're not super familiar in English, would rather like to use Indian or Spanish or whatever, you could choose that to better understand me. So it's a new feature and I hope you like it. I'm trying it out today as well. And yeah, great. So I hope it is working for everyone. Let me just check. Okay, perfect. So here you have one more time a picture of myself, and if you wanna connect on LinkedIn, you can use perfect thumbs up. You can use that LinkedIn QR code as well to connect with me. And let's get started with the partner technology strategist. So I want to spend some time with you talking about what is a partner technology strategist. So I have a portfolio of multiple partners that I work with, right? So in my case, I have 8 partners that I'm responsible for, and especially for their business in Germany. And they, the role, it has many facets. So you can really take a look where your strengths would be fitting in. First of all, we have the part of the partner strategy. You have to imagine that Microsoft is a large company and we have a strategy, and that strategy might change throughout the fiscal year or between fiscal years. And it's really important to help the partners understand what is it currently, what is Microsoft up for, what is our strategy, and where do we see the business turning to. Especially, for example, with COVID-19, we saw a shift in priorities in the market at our customers. So it's really important for them that we help them understand our strategy. And the next step at partner strategy would be me understanding the partner's strategy, right? So partners help us at Microsoft to do our business. Most of our revenue goes through partnerships. And with partnerships, it's really, really important to curate them. And so for us, partnerships are super important. So the partner strategy, the partner is a company by themselves. They have their goals, they have their employees, and they have their targets to the market. The way they work, each partner is very individual, and you need to understand what is the partner strategy. And in that stage, we really try to align the partner strategy and the Microsoft strategy so that in the end, we work together very seamless for the customer. So, for example, you are really good at business strategy. That is one of your strengths. You know business models and everything. Then that would be something where you, as a partner technology strategist, would focus on, right? So I think you will get the thing when I continue. The next step next to the partner strategy, like when that's done, you continue of thinking about the partner technical development plan. You have a strategy. For example, you want to come up with a joint solution, a new solution around PowerPoint Live, as we just mentioned PowerPoint Live, or it could be a Teams solution or something around, let's say, development. Yeah. So it can be very broad what solutions or IP the partner would like to develop. And there you're really coming together with them and thinking, what can we do? What can we do to get that solution going? What kind of resources does the partner need? What kind of training might the partner be in need for? And this also brings me to the next step, which is the partner capacity and capability. As you might have noticed, we really started in the last fiscal year to get certification going. So certifications is super important. Learning is very important for Microsoft. Like every employee at Microsoft had to do a certification, at least like one of the fundamentals. And we really want to drive this learning culture and engage also our partners in it. And when a partner especially wants to build up new solutions, new business parts, they need capacity and capability to actually deliver that to customers later on. So I, as a PTS, work with them to have like training roadmaps, which employees should do which training and which certifications. It's even sometimes about hiring. You know, sometimes you don't have the right employees, but you need additional ones. And then we also try to see, okay, what would be the best way to hire them? Where will he find the partner? Where will the partner find the right talent to acquire? And that's something, that you would do in this step. Especially, I know that some of you might be totally into learning and the learning culture and habits around learning. What's the best way to learn? If you have a skill set in that, this is perfect. As a partner technology strategist, as a PTS, you can bring that in here as well. So I already mentioned building the new practice, the solution, and the IP. This is a process that you don't do by yourself as a PTS. You're in a leading role here. You help to build the new business part, the solution or the IP, the intellectual property for the partner. You help them, but you have, of course, architects. The PTS role, and let me mention that here, is a very broad role. So from modern workplace, from Teams to Azure Stack, Azure IoT, and even Dynamics, Power Platform, Power Apps, everything is within the PTS role. And most likely a PTS has a specialization because he wants to, like for example, you really like the modern workplace, or you're a very technical person and like Azure Kubernetes service and you're good at this kind of technology, but you need to know it kind of all. And then we have the architects that we can engage to help us really build a very specific solution. So let's assume we want to build a Teams solution and it is somehow connected to a Power App. Then I would have one architect for Teams solution building and one architect for Power App solution building, helping me as a PTS, helping the partner to build the new solution. So this is the next part, cross-solution area influencer, because you really have silos within the partners company, within Microsoft, and generally you know about silos. Some people just take care of Teams and the others just take care of Power Platform, and you as the PTS are the cross-solution area influencer. So you should be able to see how you can combine different solutions, bring them together to create even more value. And this influencing is not only within your own company, so in my case within Microsoft, but also at the partners company, because they have the same silos. So you need to bring people together and make them talk and brainstorm and create solutions at the end. So if you're good at building relationships, bringing people together, this is a part where you would succeed in. Then we have the topic around partner growth and performance. At Microsoft, we have a very specific way of measuring the success and the training and the certificates of our partners. So we, for example, at Microsoft measure Azure consumed revenue. Let's just assume that's the number. And our partner might have a different way of looking at the numbers. And some of them don't even have this clear visibility that we can get from our tools, right? So if you're really good at numbers and Excels, using Power BI, getting reports, getting the view, trying to see where is the market currently at, who of the customers is using what, and how is that relating to the solution we are building or the solution that we built, how is it accepted by the market? Well, that's when somebody comes into place who's good with numbers. And I think as a PTS, you have kind of all of the skill set. You need to have it. We will come later to kind of what should a PTS bring with her or him. But you have really the opportunity in the PTS role to focus on the bits and pieces that you like and where you can excel. And then we have the strategic workload adoption. So for Microsoft, we have strategic workloads that are super important for us because we believe this is the future, and you constantly keep checking like, okay, are our solutions that we have in market together with our partners, are they focused on the strategic workloads that we are having, right? So you keep an eye on the strategic focuses, and if you see a gap, then you would try to build a solution with one of your partners or come up with idea for other partners to build the right solutions. And one very important part of the PTS role is the technical relationships. So the PTS works closely together with the partner development manager, who is responsible for the overall relationship with partners. But the technical relationships, these are the ones of the PTS role. So speaking with the chief technology officer or the development lead and further technical roles, this is your responsibility. Having the relationship with them is super important, and this would be your part. So relationship building, one more time, super important. This is, let me say, the overall picture how a PTS role looks like. But I must admit that how you actually live the PTS role depends on the PTS, on the skill set of the PTS, as I already mentioned, and second, on the partner set that you get. So if you have a rather small, agile partner, an ISV, you would need to focus on different parts than when you have a large, let's say, GSI partner. Then your tasks, your daily life looks a bit different. Yeah, I hope that this was a good overview of the PTS role. And now I would like to continue to the next slide, which is the specialization and the skills of a PTS. We have at first point, we have the cloud computing, emerging cloud trends, and digital transformation. You can't believe me that whenever you think, oh, now I've got it, now I know what kind of the current state, something new will come up, a new feature, a new release, a new cloud trend, whatever. So stay current. And this is also one of my first tips that I would like to share with you, that learning doesn't stop after university. Like for some colleagues, it is a challenge to keep learning, stay learning, because nobody will be telling you like, okay, sit down now and learn, but it's rather you managing your time, and having enough time for learning is as important as doing the current workload. Second, and this comes with learning as well, the technical knowledge of at least 2 of the 3 Microsoft cloud platforms. So, for example, Azure and Dynamics 365, to articulate the value proposition to the partner. I tend to have knowledge in all 3 clouds, and then I have focus areas where I believe that I need deeper knowledge with my specific partner set. So this would be something, the T shape. I don't know if you ever heard of the T shape, but T, the horizontal line, like knowing everything a bit and then having some specialization. Then you have the primary skill, which is called strategy through execution, experience on large transformation engagements. So Transformation is a huge topic for our partners and for their customers as well. So knowing a bit about transformation engagements is really helpful, but I know as a university graduate, this doesn't come without any experience, right? So don't worry if you don't have all the skills needed in a job description, you will get it along the way. Executive presence. This was one of the scariest things in the beginning for me, sitting at the table together with chief technology officer, chief data center officer, chief whatever, and you really feel like the smallest wheel at the table, but they're actually looking at you like, hey, you know the newest technology, let's talk. So getting comfortable with speaking with people way higher in the hierarchy, it's something you get used to, and it comes also with experience. But you can work beforehand on your communication skills and presentation, try to get confident in what you're saying. And I feel like when you're well prepared, it's easier to be confident and feel comfortable in the situation, which will make the audience comfortable as well. I already mentioned the partner relationship and the account management skills that are needed, especially for the PTS, the technical roles. These are the persons that you want to have a great relationship with. Then we have the technical sales orchestration. So you are kind of the leader within your company for all the technical engagements. You need to work with the architects, and sometimes you need to kind of make them want to work with you if they're not incentivized naturally. So that would be the orchestration also between the cloud solutions, that everything works seamless together. Problem solving skills. Believe me, whenever you think, oh, now it's working, great, the next problem is around the corner. So these might be smaller problems or larger problems, but most important is that you really are comfortable with problem solving. And I'm sure you are, because you're all studying or at least aspire to study. So I'm good with that. And project management skills, with, of course, you have it if you're managing your studies and everything. But project management in the IT environment is also something that will be very helpful for you. So there are great courses also online if you don't have it as university skills. Great. So we have the part of the secondary skills. The technology solution and practice development, but that will come with the job, with whatever job you have. You have the services partner experience and the Microsoft partner ecosystem in case of the PTS role. But really, let me tell you here once again, this is a skill set that will come with the role, especially when you come from university. Don't worry about it. And industry specialization. This is really one thing that I want to let you know. If you have the possibility to get some kind of industry knowledge, you're always a highly welcomed guest at the table, because industry specialization is something that is sometimes quite rare yet in the discussions. And I feel like industry knowledge is something, if you can get it, if you can read for a specific industry, that's something I would recommend to you. Cool, great. Omkar, I think I nailed it with my half an hour.
I thought that was
Martina,
awesome.
ma'am.
Can I ask a question? In terms
Sure.
of when you're talking about learning, so I myself am very, very passionate about this learning thing as well. How do you personally choose to manage your time so that you're able to do all this learning alongside your normal job? Do you do it alongside during your work hours, or do you do it after weekends, or do you calendar, do you to-do list, whatever comes to mind when you think of managing your time?
Yeah, so this is something that I do for a year now, so I didn't do it from the beginning on, but I have in my calendar, I have a blocker for learning, and it is a long blocker, because I feel like when you have just half an hour here and half an hour there, you can't focus as deeply as if you have like 2 hours, for example. I have that in my calendar during my work time, because Microsoft wants me to learn, and they also tell us this is a priority, please do so. So especially when it comes to those product related things, I do learn during my learning hours. But as you maybe heard already, I'm pretty passionate about learning, and I like to learn also other stuff, so not completely related to Microsoft. For example, how to do a podcast or how to do video marketing or whatever. Like it can be very broad. And I felt like whenever I learn something, the situation will come up that I can use it during my work time as well. Like that I can use this new skill set in my work. This is how I deal with it.
Thank you so much.
Great.
That's great, Martina. And so far till now, it has been a good session. It's really interesting right now. And we'll right now take a short 5-minute break, and after that we'll come back.
Okay. So we'll meet soon again in 5 minutes. Bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
5 to 6 minutes break we'll take. We'll play some good music, and then we'll come back.
Okay. We'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are back from the session, and it was an awesome session. So, Salman, how was the session for you until now?
Yeah, I thought it was really amazing to see from a different perspective, more of a broad overview. Myself, my role is more specific within just like that Azure cloud sector. So to see it from Martina's point of view, where you have such a general, like as she might say as well, that whole having to know everything, this T-shaped skill set. It's really about prioritizing and being able to balance that. I think is very very hard skill to have, and yeah, I commend Martina for that.
Thank you.
It's great. So right now we'll start with the Q&A session. So Martina, the first question I have is Sayanta Banerjee. He asked, "Hi ma'am. First of all, good evening from India, and I want to ask, is there any plans for Microsoft to start giving any free certification course?"
I don't know about the certifications themselves, but I know that we have a training, like you can train for free for certifications. Definitely you could go to learn.microsoft.com, I think it's, and there you will
MS-Learn.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly. Go to that link, and there you will definitely find lots of resources to learn for free and to get you up and running for certifications that you may want to take.
Awesome, and that's great. And we have our next question is by Kashish Srivastava. She's like, how do we manage the time when we have the static goals as well as dynamic? Some goals are like they have to be worked upon, and that's the moment. Yeah. So she's basically asking, how do we manage the time when we get when we have that static goals as well as dynamic? So how do we manage that time?
Yeah. So maybe let's think about how a typical day looks like. Yeah, you have your goals that you maybe agreed on with your manager or with your customer, and then you have your inbox. Basically, you're opening in the morning your inbox, and there's so many emails, so many requests, so much stuff that you can spend basically the whole day on it. And I would really suggest to you that you have specific time for doing emails and this short-term answering questions and so on, and using your precious brain power for your large goals, like for the static goals, probably, if that's what you mean by static goal. So for example, I'm a morning person, so I would schedule my learning time or my static goal time kind of in the morning from, let's say, 9 to 11 a.m. And in that time, I would just work on my goals. And then I would have half an hour spending in my inbox, in my emails, answering requests from everybody. You need to really protect your time. That's how I feel about my time. And that really helps me with reaching my goals, having a clear view of what I want to reach, and then making time for that amongst not that important topics for myself. Of course, it will feel all important, but with time you will learn how to judge what is really important for you. Was that helpful?
Yeah. It was very helpful. And right now we have the next question, which is asked by the same person, but it is related to the previous question. So it is all about, you told about managing time. So she's like, how do you manage both in short period of time? So is there a way to manage all of this stuff in a short period of time, or your comments on
it? I think it's related to my last question, so I won't say what I just said, but what I think is important is that you need to know what are your goals. There will be constantly people coming to you saying, okay, Martina, I want you to do this and that, and oh, could you also do this? And saying no is a skill that is very hard, but it's good to have that one. And focusing on what is really important to you is key. So that's helping to fit it all kind of in your schedule. But saying no is something you want to learn for sure.
Wonderful. And next question is by Neeraj, and he's asking, what is the best strategy to build the market and have a wonderful growth?
The market and have a wonderful growth. I'm not sure which market you're referring to.
What you want to know in detail. So, like keeping that question aside, he'll comment. We'll hop on to the next question, and it's by Rohit. He's asking, I want to know about licensing and sales in PTS.
Yes. Okay. So, licensing is more the role of the partner development manager. Like he takes more care of it. For you as a PTS, it is important when you think about shaping a product. So for example, the licensing is per month per user, or the licensing is per used hour, or like for example with Azure consumption you just pay what you use kind of, and bringing that pricing together with the pricing of the partner. Like for example when a Microsoft product comes together with consulting services from the partner, bringing that pricing and licensing together, then it's when it's interesting for you as a PTS. I hope that was clear.
Yeah, and Salman or Sundar, I would like to pass the questionnaire to you, so you guys can, it's your turn now, so just read out the questions which are in the comment section. Any other question?
Sure. So, someone's asking more about the generic, if someone's in a non-IT background, whether or not this, I guess he's asking for this role, I guess. Would this be like, what would Microsoft see in someone who's got a non-IT background is his question.
Yeah, so I actually do have colleagues that come more from a marketing background and don't have the IT skill set. Like if you're totally saying, I don't want to be in technology, this is not the right role for you, because it's expected that with time you will want to learn about it. But it is not an issue if you don't have the skill set right now. That's for sure. You need to understand the products. You need to get an understanding when which combination of which products brings actually value to the customer to be a good counterpart for the partner as well. My manager always say, Martina, you're the number one sparings partner for the CTO of the partner company. So you want to have some technology background at some point, because otherwise the CTO will just say bye-bye. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And referring to the last question which I asked about Neeraj, like he is referring to any industrial market.
Okay. So I think
if you want I can read out the question again, and you can answer it in the perspective of industry background, like industry market background.
Mm-hmm.
So his question was, what is the best strategy to build the market and have a wonderful growth? And he's referring to any industrial market.
Okay, so let's assume that you would have a so the first point is you need to see the gap, you need to see the need in the market. I think if you start with the need, kind of with the end in mind, which problem are you trying to solve? That will be very helpful to be successful in the end. So sometimes you start with, I have an idea for the product or for the solution or for the IP, and then you're thinking about, well, what's the actual problem that I'm solving with it? this is not the right way. So think of the problems, the issue in the market first, and then you can go off with building the solution and thinking of it. And then really analyzing the industry. So you know now the problem, what other problems are around your main topic that you're trying to solve. How is the market working? So is it a fast stepping market? For example, in Germany, our public sector market is a bit slower than maybe other markets. So you really need to get an understanding of the industry that you're aiming for, and understand how the people work in that industry, what are their main challenges. And then when it comes to growing, I think that's a good question that I can't answer right now, but I feel like if you have the right solution, then growth comes over time. That would be my answer.
Okay, interesting. And I hope that the question is like the doubt which he had was cleared. Okay, so next question, ma'am. It is a very interesting and a good question. Vivek is asking, besides the data structures and algorithms, what are the different languages regarding getting into Microsoft and skills we should possess which makes us unique in front of the recruiters?
Yeah, so one thing that I feel, because I worked with some recruiters quite a bit, is the skills, the soft skills that you will need in your job. So like one skill is, for example, listening, being able to listen to someone and get what they really want to say, and being able to transform that, to translate that in the context later on, is a skill set that you should definitely have. And one thing that I feel is becoming more and more important is being authentic. I feel like lots of us have pressure in the moment when you're talking to a recruiter, when you're talking to a hiring manager and so on, and just think of them as humans. They spend their time with you, talking to you, and they also want to have a good time, right? So both of you want to get to know each other, and just being authentic, stay yourself, and if you're calm, then stay calm, and if you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, then go for it. Just be yourself in this interview situations. It's a skill set itself, like handling interviews. And next to these 2 points, maybe I will think of something else, but this would be the 2 important things now for me.
Yeah, we're getting this question in the chat about whether or not you need to improve your coding skills and all this sort of talk about engineering. I would like to iterate that Microsoft isn't just about coding. There's so many roles out there. As Martina said, she knows people who might be in marketing or come from those different sorts of backgrounds, business. These skills, as is also emphasized by Martina and Microsoft, it's a learn-it-all culture, not a know-it-all culture. So you can come in with no coding experience at all and then learn it on the job. It's really it's a huge range of opportunities out there. You see people who might have been working for the store and now they're doing all these technical certifications. So whether or not you're in a technical role or marketing role, that whole shift to learning, it's always going to enable you to transition. It's not about being static and staying in one place, but growing and continuously evolving.
Yeah, so like +1, that was great said. Thank you. Yeah, and I myself, I did have some coding during the university times, but I never used it at Microsoft. I really like the Power Platform and the no-code, low-code skills that you can use with it. So don't be offended if your coding skills are not that good.
Yeah, I literally filmed a Power App tutorial today. It's like there's loads of scope. Yeah, there's loads of scope for anything. Really, it's what you really want to do. You choose. again, Martina's making such great points. You find the problem and then you solve it. You don't come up with a solution without the problem. And whether that be a technology that you learn through coding, whether or not that be using Power Apps, whether or not you're just, utilizing a website builder, which is already, you're not coding with that. That's fine, because you're solving a problem and that's helping other people. And that's really what we aim to do here at Microsoft, empowering every person and organization on the planet to achieve more.
Yeah, so much. Great. I would like to share my screen real quick because I received a audience feedback on my session from PowerPoint Live. So if that suits right now, I would just share the screen real quick. I hope you can see it now.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So you see that the audience had the possibility to send me feedback, and I did get a score with stars, and then more specific around my slide design, the speaker skills, the interesting content, and the audience interaction. And I got also, during the slides, I got total interactions of 24, and you can see the different smileys that were used during the presentation. And just speaking about problems that this is solving, this is not just a solution that Microsoft came up with, but on my side, talking to a camera and sitting in front of a screen, not having an audience in front of me that I can interact with, that I can see, is everybody falling asleep or is everybody bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and kind of sticking to my lips? This feature is helping you, especially in those virtual times, to get a feeling for the audience and interact with them live. Yeah. Any further questions?
For now, there are none. So I think Omkar.
Sundar, there are did you read about the next question which was asked by Rohit? He asked that what about?
Oh, there was, okay. So Rohit was asking that what about Microsoft partner networks?
Mm-hmm.
Like he wants
So,
to.
yeah, every partner is in the Microsoft Partner Network, the MPN, and in the MPN, partners have the possibility to get even more trainings, to connect with each other, and they find the resources that they need to work with us. But yeah, I'm not sure what else I could tell you that is interesting for everybody. So, yeah.
Okay, so Sayanta asked actually, like, he is a recent graduate from electronics and communication engineering, but has less skills for IT. But if he wants to join, is it compulsory to strengthen his IT and coding skills, or would it be fine?
It depends on the role that he would like to fulfill within Microsoft, right? You don't just apply for Microsoft, but usually you look at roles that would be interesting in you. So I would recommend to go to careers.microsoft.com and just scan the job openings. And even if it's not available in your country, you can also look at other countries just to get a feeling for the job profiles that Microsoft is searching for and the skill set. And let me tell you, usually the skills and the requirements are way more than you can fulfill. But if you feel like you have, I don't know, 80% or maybe 70% of the skills required for that role, you should feel confident applying for it, because the mindset that you're willing to learn and to grow into that role is more important than the skill set that you might already have. Yeah.
Okay.
Sundar, there is one more question which is coming up.
Okay, now it did come. Okay, so Ajay was asking that, does CGPA in university matter in Microsoft for software engineer roles? CGPA is the grading scoring for grading thing in our country.
I'm sorry, I don't know CGPA. But it's like a grade in
Yes,
in
yes,
school.
yes. It's a grading system for in universities. It scales to 10. So
Okay.
yes, it's a grading system.
So I actually don't know what, for example, Microsoft in India is looking at currently when they are hiring. But for myself, I know back then that I applied for the role and I went through all the interviews, and in the end they were like, oh, Martina, could you still send us that you actually did university? Like, do you have anything to prove that you were in university? So nobody actually cared about any grades or anything like that. I think it really is more important how you show up and the mindset that you bring with you.
That's great,
Would you agree?
Martina. Yeah, we all agree with that. Like GPA is just a number, but all the skills we possess, that makes us fit for that specific role. So that's some really great advice from yourself. And with this, I think that we should end the Q&A session. And I want to thank you, a big thanks to you for making your presence, coming here and talking about your experience. I was also not aware about what is a partner technology strategist. It was a new term to me as well. So as an attendee, I hope that the audience also learned something out of it. But as I'm hearing to you right now, I pretty much know about what you do and what does a partner technology strategist do, basically. So one last personal question from my side: how was your experience? Like, can you like tell your experience in one word at Microsoft? Like, you've been associated with Microsoft Germany for 3 years. So just in one word, how was your experience as a partner technology strategist?
Constant change. Like, if just one word, then it would be change. But if I can say constant change, then that would be my 2 words.
Yeah, that's great. And I want to tell you guys that we have Martina's LinkedIn profile in the description box below. So please do check it out. Do reach out to her. She's happy to answer all your questions. If you have any questions after watching the session. And yeah, Sayanta, you can add Martina on LinkedIn. Her file is mentioned in the description box below, so you can add her in your LinkedIn. So, Martina, do you want to say some last word from your side?
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for letting me be part of this live stream series. I'm also looking forward myself to listen to the session tomorrow and on Friday. I think more exciting sessions are coming up, and thank you one more time.
Yeah, Salman, Sundar, you want to say something? How was the day 3 today? How was it?
I enjoyed.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. It's always nice to hear about different perspectives, different roles. Constantly learning is something. It's very heavily encouraged. Martina hit the nail on the head with that very well. So you were lucky to have her, I guess. So thank you as well to Omkar for reaching out to Martina as well to get her on board. Hopefully you all enjoyed. A lot of you are asking about internships though. Everyone asking about roles, watch my YouTube videos on applying. That's my guide for you to get internships.
Ma'am, we have
check the link.
Salman, just a sec. We have a lot of comments coming up in the live chat by Neeraj is saying it's really very useful to interact with you. Rohit is saying thank you so much, ma'am. Kshitij is saying thanks a lot, ma'am. Then there are a lot of comments which are coming up. They really the session was more of interactive. It was more informative. There was a lot of content which was new and which was one could grasp today in this 1 hour. And it's really great, and we are so happy to have you. And once again, thank you for making your presence, because it's really difficult to take time from your busy schedule and coming here and talking about your experiences. But glad you joined us and you also contributed to the community. So that's great.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and with this, I want to give a little update about what tomorrow's session is going to be. So tomorrow we kick off with day 4, and in day 4 we have Prakash Panchal sir. He's a technology strategist at Microsoft. He has over 10 plus years of experience, and its tomorrow's session is also going to be interesting. Actually, day 4 and day 5 we have the people with 10 plus years of experience. We have Prakash sir and we have Linda, who is the director of the Microsoft Garage program at Ireland. So make sure to join tomorrow as well with the desire to learn something new, with the same excitement and same motivation. We all will be here with you as well, with another speaker from the industry. And like, I'll pass it on to Salman or Sundar and let them end today's session.
Yes, and
Yeah,
don't go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just saying that don't forget to subscribe to MS Inspire to make sure that you are reminder for tomorrow's sessions also.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this session. Don't forget to go on LinkedIn and send Martina ma'am a connection request. So like these all people who come up here, they are here to help you. They want to see you succeed in life, and that's the reason why we are bringing up such events, doing such an initiative for you people. So if you really enjoyed the session, please like, subscribe to MS Inspire, and connect with all of us. We are here to help you. And with this, I would like to conclude today's session. And like the trailer will come up soon.
Yes. So bye everyone, and
Bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.